Hello everyone, it's Erin and I'm here with everything that I colored in May. So filming this right after the last one, but that's because I got behind. We're gonna catch up and it'll be fine. We get a video for every single one instead of all lumped together because I'm weird like that. I like things in their own time. So if you don't know, May is usually like May, like for mermaids in May, kind of a thing in the art community. I believe it was started by Tom Bancroft, who's a Disney artist. Anyway, so I sort of followed that, but not quite, because I did a kind of eclectic thing, and I even preempted some things that I actually picked out, and I was like, yeah, we're going to color this month, and then I just didn't do them. I did something else. My audience usually doesn't give a crap, so I just kind of felt like I want to color this instead of that. And this is one of those where I had not colored in this book yet, and I was really interested in coloring it, and I kind of, like the day before, I threw it up on my Discord, and I'm just like, hey, do you want me to color this picture or that picture? I like to give them a choice. We have an entire section for people to vote on things when I put a vote up. It's a fun time. If you're not part of the Discord, the link is in the description if you want to join us. It's kind of like a message board, but a little bit like, not private, but, you know, sort of private. It's weird to explain if you've never used Discord. I think a lot of people have, what with 2020, and it's just a way to stay connected with each other and have both text and voice options for when you need one or the other. Anyway, one of the things I use it for is voting on which thing we color. So this is from the book Mermaids and Mermen by Zenzu Creative. And I mostly just use Copic markers on this. I think there's a little bit like these seaweed things. These seaweed things right here. And then these ones here. I used my Holbeins on, as well as some polychromos. And I use my Holbeins mostly for his whole face and body. And I did add some sparkles, not a ton, so it might be a little hard to get the light to show that, but I did use some sparkles to get those fins shiny, because why not, right? And obviously I can make everything about shadow hunters, so I just kind of went with the skin tone that I usually use for Magnus when I'm coloring the Shadow Hunters Mortal Instruments book. But yeah, if you can't tell, I can make everything about Shadow Hunters, so I kind of talk about it a little too much. It's fine. The audience is used to it, I promise. And those of you that only watch these, you don't get exposed to too much of it, so you're fine. I went with a lot of silver fish. I did a sort of like lit from the top kind of thing with the water. Nothing too fancy, but I had fun with this one. And then I tried to mimic a sort of sandy water reflection thing for the ground. Not sure it worked, but I tried my best, and that's all that really matters, right? Right. So a little bit eclectic. I did a picture from Beauty of Horror 2. My friend Pitty requested that I do a picture from here, just because she has recently gotten into coloring and gotten these books, and so she requested I do a picture from these books, and I picked this one because it seemed like something I could get done reasonably quickly, for one. Considering I started it, the stream was from April instead. I didn't actually get it finished before the end of the month, but we worked on the background mostly during the stream, which was fun because I decided to do a sort of faded wallpaper thing, and we used some stamps for that, and just had a good informal time and everything. And then I painted this out so that, you know, it mostly worked. Okay, it mostly worked. And I did some white hair on there, so you can see like the difference in the hair, that it is not, I mean, it's colored, but it's white, you know what I mean? Yeah. So obviously May 4th is in May as well, so I decided to stream that day. I think I had to because of a doctor's appointment, and then a viewer of mine, he was just like, hey, so does that mean you're gonna color something in Star Wars? And at first I thought, no, I don't want to color on a Tuesday. And then I was like, well, except I do have a Star Wars coloring book. And not only that, but it's actually a coloring book that has a few free printables online. So this is one of the free printables. So I thought if anybody happened to want to join me, they could color the same page. And so we worked on this one, and I had fun. Honestly, I put more detail into the porgs and into Chewy, and then the background is just mostly Copic work and not really pencils or anything. But I think it came out okay. I mean, obviously I'm not really striving for realism when everybody's drawn as a chibi cartoon, so it was fine, right? And so that's that one. And then during May, my viewers were kind enough to kind of crowdfund, or, you know, just put in a lot of collective donations to buy me a set of Holbein pencils for my birthday, which is technically in June, but once I had the money, I decided to make the purchase just so that, you know, nothing went out of stock before my birthday. And when I purchased those pencils, I also got 2 coloring books, including this Mochi Mochi Panda book. And so I figured that I would use the Holbein pencils to do a whole page, which took a lot of time. It took a lot of time. So the main characters are all in pencil. But then I did some gouache on the background and then some gel pen over the top of that, so you can kind of see how it shines on there. But yeah, I think I did like 2 streams. This part was, these 2 were one stream, and then this one was another stream. I think I might have colored that one too. But just some cute motifs in this book. A lot of fun little pandas, right? That's what it's about. So that was cool. And then I got the Disneyland coloring book, which I honestly am too afraid to go to Disneyland. I am diagnosed agoraphobic, so I don't know if I'll actually be able to pluck up the courage to go, regardless of the whole, you know, 2019 issue. But I thought that a book that is so, I don't know if I want to say accurate, but has so many scenes from around Disneyland would kind of stir up that nostalgia. So I colored this page, and I decided that regardless of the fact that the popcorn stands in this area are red, I wanted to color it in this sort of teal mint color, so I just went with that. Didn't have to be 100% accurate. And we've got the Matterhorn in the background. We've got the pink trees and stuff. This one is Prismacolors and Tombow markers. And a lot of the Prismacolor is just the like swirliness on the trees. You can see like the, you know, air quote detail on the trees there. Just sort of an informal. I mean, it's a cartoon, so I didn't want to go overly crazy with it. I do like how Donald came out, though. I think he looks cool. And so, yeah, I didn't really fuss about the accuracy of that. The only thing that sucked is I did actually test the markers before I colored this, and it still bled through in some areas. I think it's just that one marker, maybe like the 2 darker ones, which is weird because, again, I tested live on the show, and they didn't go through. They didn't go through onto the other side, so I don't know what's up with that paper. But the only good thing about this actually going through is the fact that most of it's the sky, and I can paint that out, and it'll go away once I color the train part. If I color the train part, because honestly, does this really excite me? Not really. I would rather just color them and not really do the train part. I like the train, but it takes hours to color things, and I really gotta like a page for me to bother. Like, I would rather spend all my time on the Adventureland one because I like this one. So it'll be fine, but just a word of warning, if you're using your Tombows in there, even if you test them, they could still go through. 6 layers is what I usually test, and it still went through, so I was kind of mad about that, but not overly mad. It'll be okay. Let's see, where's the picture from here? So this is Mythology Aquatic, and again, sort of a mermaid, but not quite. So we did this sort of like, what is she, an octopus lady? We did this sort of octopus lady, and I picked a color scheme, and then I tried to paint the background, but I will tell you, Americana paint is poo. Honestly, I hate the texture that it gets and the coverage, like even after a ton of layers, it's just really crappy paint. Call me a supply snob, but all of these brush strokes that I can see, even after, like I said, tons of layers, this took a long time for it to look as crappy as it does. So that kind of bummed me out background wise, but I think she came out just fine. And whatever this white goo is dripping everywhere, we're not gonna name it because we want to stay monetized, but it's also sparkly because why not? So that's Mythology Aquatic. And then the last one is another page that I colored on my own in the Mortal Instruments coloring book. Let's see if I can find it. I've colored a ton in this book now. There we go. So I did Jason Clary. Jason Clary in the fairy realms. I had to keep looking through exactly what is what's going on in this scene and what's happening, and trying to figure out the clothes that they were wearing and stuff like that. Sometimes they didn't say, so I just made my own executive choices as far as what Jace would be wearing. And the background, turns out, was stupid boring in this room. So I was like, oh, brown on brown, okay. Because when you say pale linen, well, I just kind of think white or pale linen colors. So this is what we got. And but if nothing else, it did lend the fact that I get to make the jars kind of glow with their wisps inside them. So it did kind of work there. And then for the detail on the linen, I did add some silver gel pen to kind of cover over those harsh dark lines. And so it's silver sparkly instead, which kind of adds to the fairy idea of the room, since they are in fairy at the time, so it works out. But yeah, that is everything that I colored in May. So at the end of June, on July 1st, you'll actually get a proper video, I'm pretty sure. And anyway, I hope you enjoy that. I hope you still enjoy looking at all my finished projects. Thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it, a thumbs down if you didn't, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody.